And now we have with us author Sandra Lopez, who grew up in the city of Hawaiian Gardens. She's the author of 2 books, Esperanza, A Latina Story, and Beyond the Gardens. She was also recently voted one of the 2011 top 10 Latino authors to watch. Welcome, Sandra. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Would you tell us a little bit about your life growing up here in the Hawaiian Gardens?
Well, you know the kid who always sat in the classroom eating paste?
Yes.
That wasn't me. But I had the same social life, okay? I pretty much kind of like sat back, you know, reading my books, you know, getting my homework done early, always turning it in early, always asking the teacher for extra work. So I was kind of like the nerd of the class, okay? But people didn't really want to be my friend.
Aww.
So I was kind of like, I don't know, the outcast of it. So, but I love books, you know, growing up. I always, you know, did everything I could to read, you know.
So you were an avid reader.
Definitely, definitely, okay. Even my own family thought I was kind of weird because all I wanted to do was read. You know, I never really, you know, enjoyed, you know, gathering with the family functions or anything. You know, I enjoy the food. I enjoy growing up Latina, but I always loved reading.
What types of books did you find interesting growing up?
You know, like as a kid, Dr. Seuss, and then evolved to R.L. Stein, Goosebumps, okay, which they don't have anymore. But all kinds, you know. I really didn't get into the Latino authors like Luis Rodriguez, Sandra C until I got to college. That's when I started, you know, writing.
Did you always want to be a writer?
Being a writer just sort of happened. I started writing, you know, because it was my passion. I enjoyed it so much. It really was not work. It was effortless.
So what process do you follow when you write?
Well, I'll tell you the one advice that a fellow writer, who's also a friend of mine, Sandra Garcia, she actually says what you should do is throw up on paper. Just get your ideas out on paper.
You know, that's a great idea because it's like no pressure then.
Yes, just like a canvas. You know, I'm also an artist as well. So just splatter the plane. Okay, see where it takes you. Okay, so that's exactly what I do. Just get your ideas out on paper. Okay, and from then I just sort of, you know, refine at that point. You know, I was like, I see where the story goes.
Tell us about your first book, Esperanza.
Esperanza, a Latina Story. Well, this is the book. Okay, as you can tell from the cover, it's about a Latina girl who wants to get out of the barrio, wants to make something of her life. Okay, because as a Latina, you know, your fate is pretty much mapped out. You're supposed to get married young, you're supposed to have a family, and, you know, you're supposed to cater to your husband. That is the life of the typical Latina. Okay, and she wanted to break out of that barrier. Okay, she wanted to, you know, explode into life as her own individual.
Now, is Beyond the Gardens, is that meant to be a sequel to it?
Yes.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about that book.
Well, Beyond the Gardens, in the first book, she graduates high school. And in the Beyond the Gardens, she goes into college. Okay. Now, specifically, she goes to art school, okay, which is what she aspired to do. She wants to be an animator.
So this follows basically her journey through college then?
Yes. And it's called, notice it's called Beyond the Gardens.
Yes.
Okay, and that's when I was growing up, the gardens was what we called the city. Hawaiian Gardens.
Okay.
Okay, because that's where she was born. Okay, it's actually set in Los Angeles. Okay, because I thought it was a bigger city, and that's when the art schools are, where the art schools are.
True.
Okay, so that's why I set it in Los Angeles, but she's actually from Hawaiian Gardens.
To write these books is one task, but then to go about getting it published is quite another. What was your journey like to get it actually published?
Well, let me start off by saying that I did not intend on getting it published.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I wrote it is because, well, because I never saw a story like this, okay, like my story, okay? A lot of the stories that incorporated Latinos were either in gang life or they were immigrants assimilating to America, and that wasn't my life.
Right.
Okay, so I wanted to write about a Latina who just wanted something for herself, who just wanted a life for herself. Okay, who's not affiliated with gangs, not affiliated with immigrants or anything like that, just about her. Okay, and that's why I started writing that in college. Okay, and getting it published, I just thought, what the hey, why not just send it to like 30 publishers, see what they say.
Really?
And I got a lot of rejections, okay, let me tell you.
So you just packed up your book, mailed it off to them, and just waited?
I didn't pack up the book. I started off with a query letter,
Uh-huh.
okay, because that's, you know, normal protocol. You have to start off with a letter, see if
Okay.
they're even interested in it. But then, after I got like 30 no's, okay, some didn't even come back at all, let me tell you that. But I was about to give up, okay?
Right.
I was about to start going through the agent route, see if where that panned out. But before I could even get started on that, the editor of Floricanto Press called me up directly and said, hey, you know what? We're interested in your manuscript. Send it to us. Okay? And like 4 months later, I got a contract.
Wow.
Okay? So it took about 2 years to get it published.
Do you have any ideas for new books that you're...
Yes, I do.
Would you like
It
to
is
share?
a third young adult novel. It is a collection of short stories about my experience growing up in Hawaiian Gardens. Okay, these are going to be different characters, all from Hawaiian Gardens, experiencing life in Hawaiian Gardens.
Interesting.
Okay?
I love that you are using Hawaiian Gardens. I think that's wonderful.
Well, it's from where I'm from, okay?
Right.
It's like, it's part of who I am. It's part of what made me who I am, okay? It's like, that's something that I cannot change,
Right.
okay? But it's something that I hold very dear. It's very close to my heart. So that's why I write it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
And congratulations. We look forward to your next book.
Thank you.